My initial thoughts, I will tell you that today has been very eventful, and you can see the testimony of COP Alex Mensah flip-flopping. And if you ask me, I would say his counsel didn't do a good job because when they gave them the break to go and underline what he agrees to and what he doesn't agree to, it looks like they went and he attempted to bring his own transcription, of the audio, which was, somehow rejected. You heard him, somehow say he's not a member of the MPP, but seemed to have suggested when they led him to a certain line of questions, if that would be true, that the IGP is a sympathizer of the NDC. He says yes. Then I said, okay, then they told him that if that is the case, then you are a member of the a member of the MPP. I think he just needed to accept that that is the case. And you can see a lot of inconsistencies, things he said yesterday, somehow today he seemed to have forgotten. He actually answered yes to these things, but today he said no, he didn't. And when they told him that you swore an oath yesterday, and you heard Attah-Akyea beginning to warn him to be very careful because the angle he's moving to is criminal. If he's cited for perjury, that would move this particular issue to another realm. Over there, I think a bit of panic set in, so he needed to sit up together with his counsel and try to be forthright with the committee. And so as far as I'm concerned, I think that today very eventful, and I must admit, the questions that were put to him, you can see he just couldn't answer them the way one was expecting, and it's good it was televised so that the discerning general public would deduct from whatever he's saying. I just think that today's the interrogation, they pinned him down to most of the things which he ended up agreeing, and the CI 76, 80, section 80, 83 or so, somewhere over there, it's a major offense to be seen publicly to be, embroiled in, a political controversy. And he seemed to have said, he admitted. And so this is how serious this whole tape is ending up becoming. This is how serious it's becoming. And I just think that his counsel could have done a bit better by guiding him. But unfortunately, he was led into admitting to almost all the things which, these things are caught on tape, which he admitted to, Kojo.
Now, just to clarify, regarding the question of engaging in politically controversial activities, he actually responded by saying politically controversial activities are subject to interpretation, and that he didn't believe that his actions were met that interpretation. But another thing I observed today was that all the way through, since yesterday, this particular witness has insisted that the IGP is the worst IGP ever. Yesterday he said the IGP is not correct. Today he said he's the worst IGP in Ghana. But he was yet to present any particular reason in terms of the technical work of being an IGP. Everything he has said so far as an explanation of why he felt that Dr. Dampare was the worst IGP was a political reason. What do you make of that?
Right. Very unfortunate, Kojo. Very, 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 very unfortunate. This disgraced COP, unfortunately, this thing that has come up, for me, is a big disgrace to him and probably all senior police officers and security officers in this country. Because then the guy who is supposed to be superintending over our elections is claiming to be affiliating to a political party and alleging that he is a member of a political party, and comes to say the person is not correct. And yet, in one breath, he says that he's been lobbying to be the IGP since 2017. And somehow, I even called some, he actually indicted the IGPs before 2016 elections. Al-Hassan, IGP Al-Hassan, and Kudalo. And when it was put to him, he was very evasive when he said that appointments are actually done through political lines. And they told him that so between Al-Hassan and Kudalo, is he saying everything that was done was political? He was very evasive. And they told him within 2 years, you had a jump from Assistant Commissioner of Police, ACP, to Commissioner of Police. And with that one, he said he merited it. And so when it suits him, he agrees. So you can see the political angle he told. Even members of the MPP themselves don't agree with him. But unfortunately, he was probably so interested in becoming the IGP before he goes on retirement, so much so that, he decided to do the unthinkable, saying all manner of things that, as they put to him, he could not come clear, apart from saying, the man has destroyed the police. The man is not correct. Then when they asked him, if you say the man has destroyed the police, the man is not correct. And everything you answered today seemed to be pointing to a certain political angle. You can see how vindictive, how bitter he is, how, angry he is, and how peeved he is. They asked him, you said the IGP was born in Chebi, but the father also is from Krobo, and the mother also is from Uti. The last time I checked, Ghana is a unitary state. It doesn't matter me. I'm from DBI. It's in the Upper West region. But I grew up in Tema. It doesn't matter where you were born. Once you are qualified, you will be appointed. The Minister of Interior is from the Upper West, from Nandon. The Minister of Roads is from the Eastern region. And so my point is that when you are qualified and a political head wants to appoint you, he would appoint you. But you can see everything he did was pushing the political angle to get him become IGP. And he crowned it by saying, once I am appointed, I would help break the 8. Very unfortunate. Sweeping statements, comments, and he admitted to most of these things, under oath. And so, Kojo, as far as I'm concerned, this will not pass for the ordinary gossip officers would undertake before, you have to lobby to get the job. But to go to this extent of trying to say, give it to me, and predicting things that will happen. And they asked him, Ayawaso Westwagon, you were the Director General of the Ghana, police operations, Ghana Police Service. He said yes. Then they asked him, were you involved in that elections? He said no, but he was part of the thinkers, strategic thinkers. And so you see, when it suits him, he says yes. When it doesn't suit him, he says no. He begins to give reasons. And so I think that he accepted or he admitted, I don't know, I have no idea, I'm not a police officer. But he said the police is divided sharply into 2, NDC police officers or MPP police officers and NDC police officers. So my point is that, I don't know, because I know Kudalo actually transitioned Nana Akufo-Addo, President Nana Akufo-Addo, from a flag bearer to the president of the Republic in 2025 with the largest votes in our history since 1992, almost 1 million. And so you can see how bitter, how angry, and, he saying that something is, something that is right. It has not been given to him because everything is said. I'm sure right thinking when you monitor comment from social media, you know that we have a discerning Ghanaians who are reading in between the lines. And, some political commentators who have spoken to me today, in fact, on the side of MPP, feel disgusted about the things they heard him say today. And so for me, I think that this is not very good for a senior citizen like him. This is not very good for someone who spends 31 years or so in the Ghana Police Service. And so he didn't have any business